Hello, everyone. My guest today is, as you can see, a beautiful soul. She's called Lisa Bedlow. She's been an educator for 30 years and has seen over that time how children's and young people's emotional well-being has changed. She sees them as highly intuitive and much more sensitive children than she knew 3 decades ago. She runs a school, a well-being school called Gabriel's. I'll let her tell you a little bit about it, but I love the fact that I've sort of crossed paths and our waves crashed and we're on a path together now. I helped Lisa at her school. We're trying to find her a property so they can expand and continue in her campaign for justice for children. So I'm so happy to have you here because you're leading the way for children's outdoor education. Would you like to say hello? And we'd love to hear your tip after your introduction.
Oh, thank you. A lovely introduction. And yes, I have always been passionate about children. I have seen a lot of change. And I think I've seen how many children come alive when they're outside, and children who can lead their own learning and being outside can really enhance their learning and really you just see it go so much more quickly, and they just learn at a faster pace and a more secure pace. And I think when they're on their own agenda as well, just like us, when we're on our own agenda and learning what we want to learn about, we learn so much more quickly.
Sorry, can I just say you cracked up a lot?
Oh no.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
You could start that again because it was.
Is it? Yeah. I don't know whether Rachel's come off the internet or not. I don't know what to do, but okay, don't worry.
You could start that answer again. You could just say I finished the introduction, and then you could say yeah. And then do like a 1 minute elevator pitch about your love of children and what life or whatever, what you were doing.
Okay. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And I'm really happy to be here today and talking about my passion, which is children. And yes, over the years, I have seen a change in children. I've noticed that children, when they're outside, really come alive. So when they're in nature, they learn more. They are on their own journey of learning. They're leading their own learning, and they're much more likely to remember what they're learning because they're learning it in a way that really works for them. I was going to say, how many children have a passion for sticks and stones and sand and seashells? And, you know, when you go outside, whether you're in the woods, the forest, the beach, children have that affinity with picking up nature. And if you think about it, nature holds energy. So energy that they're holding in their hands is that beautiful, and it's just reassuring and calming and lovely. And it really just enhances their brain neurons and their relaxation feelings. Children who are stressed and anxious don't learn. So the way that our school works is to help them not to be stressed and anxious, to help them be leading their own learning, being out in nature, and guiding us as to what they want to learn about, whether it's, you know, they spot a worm wriggling along the ground and want to know about it. Last week we had a squirrel that fell out of the tree and died. So, you know, they're learning all sorts all the time, just literally being out in nature, and what a wonderful way that is to learn.
It's fantastic that you're helping them lead from their inner nature, from their heart. You know, you obviously lead your life from your heart, and left being inside the system, the educational system, to be outside, to be able to be more innovative and move faster to adapt to each different child's needs. It's really brilliant that you're doing it and that you've got you've made such great strides. It's lovely. I just wanted to tap on also the fact that you're an energy healer and an intuitive energy healer. And how does that work with parents and children to sort of speed up the healing process and the growing process for people?
Thank you for asking. I love that side of things. I kind of discovered it about 10 years ago. And I think energy healing we all know that everything has energy, as I just talked about sticks and stones. We hold energy, and those particularly sensitive children are often picking up other people's negative energies. And if you think about COVID and everything that's gone on, the panic, the fear, children pick up on that, and it can really enhance their anxieties and stresses because they feel a little bit out of control or not able to manage their own feelings and emotions. So the energy healing helps them to manage their feelings and emotions. I can remove all that negative fear from their bodies, all the anxiety, and then just replenish it with some really calming, lovely energy, and also teach them some strategies so they can do it for themselves. Excuse me, tickly throat. So yeah, we have some simple strategies like the blue balloon, which is imagining putting all your worries and fears into the blue balloon and imagining it floating away. So very, very simple things that they can do that can just help them if they're lying in bed and they've had a bad dream, or if they're stressing and worrying that they haven't got something right. Some children are real perfectionists, they feel they've got to get everything right. So yeah, so the energy healing really complements what I'm doing with the outdoor learning, and it helps parents. I've you know, obviously 30 years of working with children and families. I've got a wealth of knowledge and experience of that too, so I can guide parents and help them to how to help their children and how to help themselves as well.
Brilliant. Well, you know, what much of an inspiration you've been to me, and it's almost been, and I said with two waves crashing, it's almost I've seen you hold the passion for children and nature that I do, but also for energy healing, and you've really helped me come out of my shell in that regards. And I'm training with one of your trainers, and I'm sort of going to be toddling alongside you sometimes. So it's so lovely to just to be beside people who share the same beliefs as you, and are doing so much good in the world. What is your tip? What is your takeaway for everyone now who's heard about what a wonderful human being and what wonderful work you're doing? What is it?
Thank you. I think probably my tip would be to think of yourself as a flower. So there's an example that I use for parents that, you know, if you're a dandelion, you're incredibly resilient and you will survive whatever is thrown at you. And some children are real dandelions. I like to think that I was a dandelion.
Would you want to remind people what a dandelion looks like, just in case this might be a small group of listeners who've forgotten what dandelion?
Okay, so a dandelion being a small kind of golden flower, it almost looks like a lion's mane coming out, but also it can be that beautiful dandelion seed head, which children love to pick and blow. So it's actually a flower that has multiple facets, which I think is even more incredible. And children are very drawn to dandelions, and I am drawn to dandelions. And I think, you know, they're a sign of resilience, because you can see them growing out of the pavement on a road or wherever. And some children, you know, when their parents are worrying they've had to go through divorce, or they've had the loss of a sibling, or something really traumatic in their lives, the dandelion is a flower that resembles resilience and, you know, fighting through whatever the odds, against the odds, I guess. Whereas when I'm guiding families, if they've got a child who's just had a diagnosis of autism and they're perhaps worried about that, I say you've still got a beautiful flower. It's just it's an orchid, and it needs a different kind of treatment. It needs special treatment and different kind of parenting and understanding. So yeah, I guess my tip would be think of yourself as a flower, and maybe different flowers, different days. You know, if you think of a beautiful poppy, poppies are so stunning, but they just last for maybe a day or two, and then they kind of wilt and wither away. There may be days when we feel like that poppy just shining out there, and other days when we just feel like the wilting kind of like. So yeah, I think you could imagine sort of writing that on a post-it and putting it somewhere just to remind yourself what flower am I today, what am I feeling like today, and yeah, just go with that. I think it's just a really nice way of connecting with nature and realizing that we have our ebb and flow, our ups and downs, our good and our bad times.
Yeah, brilliant. I think that's a fantastic tip, and it is all about, you know, leading with the language of nature, waking up, opening your eyes and realizing you're part of everything, your nature. And if you'd follow Lisa's tip and identify with a flower every morning, how beautiful is that? So thank you so much, Lisa. That was a really, really lovely tip. I hope people will take away and share with their friends and family and loved ones. Brilliant. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute honor.
Oh, thank you. See you soon. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Botanic Shed. We're here to help you build vitality and resilience by building a deeper connection with nature. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook at Botanic Shed, and at www.botanicshed.com. My email is hello@botanicshed.com. And if you'd like to speak to any of these people I've interviewed, or if you'd like to join us on the show, do get in touch. Thanks. Bye.